you.
Also want to let you know that if there were similar questions, just so that we could get as many people involved as possible, I kind of combined them. So if I read your question and it's not exactly the way that you wrote it, just know that, you know, the intention is there. Also, because we have limited time, we're not going to ask questions that we've asked you guys in recent weeks, very recent weeks, just so that we can, again, get some more information. And also, if there were some really personal, like mental health related questions, again, you know, we don't think that a live stream is probably the most respectful way to answer some of those questions because they need more time and energy. So we just encourage people. Again, we've got Together We Can out there, that awesome team. You can generate questions to them, and Matthew and Connolly would love to answer those questions. Just go out to the community section of our website under submissions, and you'll see a little box for Together We Can. Send them in, and we would love to help get those questions answered for you.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome, Cindy. Can I push hearts and make hearts happen?
Absolutely.
Because of everything you just said. I think it works that way.
I was going to take a moment.
Anyway.
I would take a moment and just say how lovely you look.
Agree.
I mean, you always look lovely, but just
it's
today.
A really nice sweater.
Yes,
Thank
it is.
you. Well, you're making me blush. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, because we've got so many questions, I want to get as many of them as we can. So I'm going to challenge you guys for these first several that I ask you to, you know, just give the first thing that comes into your mind relatively quickly. Okay.
All right.
So from Katie in England and Cassandra in Mexico, what's your go-to song when you're having a bad day?
Ooh, well, that I would have two. One is Bright Side, which I just say not like, you know, but it's really genuinely, honestly.
Yep.
And then obviously Bob Marley, Three Little Birds. Those are definitely my two. But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be Bright Side.
Nice.
By East of Eli. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I don't know who that is.
Pretty good song too.
Yeah, those are amazing songs. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm a huge fan of Coldplay and all the way down to all, you know, their like earlier stuff. So I kind of always seem to go back there because I just love how they balance any Coldplay song for that matter, really. But I just love how they balance, you know, the hard times with the good times. It always seems like it's a beautiful, you know, through line in every song, and it's like you can relate to it, what they're kind of saying in your own way, but at the same time you can also they kind of give you a little bit of that sense of hope, is you know, that you can move forward and
absolutely
help you think it through. So I love that stuff.
Great. I like those choices too. Okay, Sophia in Chile, are you a morning person or a night owl?
Oh, well.
I know his answer.
Yeah, I'll let her answer for me.
He's a night owl, not a morning person. I'm a morning person if he's a morning person. Otherwise.
Got it.
She's a night owl by default because she's like, I'm not getting up with you if you're in the morning. If you're at the house, I'm not getting up.
Well, this is clearly from a group of friends who sent in some questions, so I'm going to read them all. Millie, Anna, Gabi, Nali, Carol, Ana Flavia, and Yasmin, all from Brazil.
Oh.
Do you intend to get other cats to keep Link company?
No. No. Getting one was enough of a
Link's awesome.
Love Link. Not an issue, but it was a lot of convincing to do that. So the plan is at some point,
yeah,
to get Nathan his doggy, because he's wanted a doggy for a very long time. And should we get a girl doggy, which I think that's obviously the idea. You know, we playing with the idea about names, and we have thrown around maybe playing with the idea of Zelda, because I know it would be Zelda and Link. But if Puppy already has a name, we're not going to go through that whole thing and make Puppy very confused.
Got it.
Unless it's like something really weird, like Frying Pan or something. I don't know. It would be like, Fry. No, this doesn't work.
All right. Allison in New York. I love this. What's your most used emoji?
Oh, I could
know.
totally set this
I know
one
what
up
it is.
after everything going on social media. I'm gonna just say the cry laugh emoji.
Oh, I'm surprised.
No, I'm kidding. No, my go-to. I'm sorry, I had to do that because like it's been all over that. Obviously it's out of date and everything. You're not supposed to use it, and I see those as perfect opportunities to actually be like, I'm gonna use it so much now. Just because people are saying you're not supposed to. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about
I'll look it up
But
later.
no, my go-to. So I have my go-to is I surround anything and everything with the fire emoji. But my go-to is really actually a combination of it's a fire, the 100 fire or fire heart.
Yep.
Like red heart and then fire. Those are like my go-to.
Yes.
There it is. See, that's what I'm talking about, people. Whoever just put that, yes. Love you. Love you. Like, let's go.
like
Yes.
so old. Like, what did they write? That's gonna be still frame right there.
Totally mess up your hair. I cannot believe I just did that.
So much dry shampoo in here. Come on now.
No, please.
Anyways, what's mine? Mine is all, I mean, anytime you go to like the little clock thing, my very first one is always the red heart.
Yep.
But that's always the first. But I think that this one or this one, it happens a lot.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Or the smile face with the teardrop on the head where it's like,
There it is.
like that.
See, look at See, they're coming up.
Yeah,
See?
fire, heart,
So yeah, you got to go fire, heart, fire.
That's right.
Like,
Right.
or fire 100, fire.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan, this one is for you. From Kim in Pennsylvania and Sophia in Sweden. Will Heartloose and Trenches be released?
This is so funny. I literally was just talking about this. Look, yes, I would love to have those released, and I've been thinking about that. I think there's a little bit of I got to work through that. Got to figure out how that's going to happen. I will say this much: I will continue to play them live when I play them and stuff, because it is a part of obviously. What is it? My trying to think of the
Discography.
word. That's right. Yeah, I was going for that big word. Yes, discography. But I'm going to focus on where I'm kind of going with the music right now, and then there'll be, I'm sure, a surprise release for that at the perfect time.
Okie doke.
So expect in the future.
Excellent. All right, and this is our global community. This is Sonu from India. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Is there anything you would change about yourselves if you could?
Oh, yes. My morning. I literally would, like, my dad was always like, Grumpy Gus, right? Like, and it's funny because my older brother is, he's a year and a half. We're a year and a half apart. And we were just talking about this yesterday. That's just one of those things that, it kind of built into our DNA. And not saying I don't have great mornings, and not saying I'm not pleasant to be around. Some mornings, I just need time to like get up. And I guess if I could really change, that would be it. I wish I could wake up every day and be like, yay, like the birds are chirping, and it's like,
That shit's overrated. Sorry. Sorry. Is that this one?
I don't know. For me, it's definitely this one.
I would say not second guessing myself so much. Like I tiptoe because I never want to have like the wrong answer, or not have like the best response or whatever it is. So I tiptoe a lot, and I think it's just because I'm really hard on myself and I second guess myself too much. And so then that comes across as kind of like wavering.
Sure.
And I don't like that. Like it's not, that should rephrase.
No, I get what you're saying though.
It's something that I definitely need to work on.
But it's great that you actually do. Not that you second guess, but to check yourself. That's one thing, right? Like make sure. I mean, to be sensitive to that. Maybe what other people might think, or if it's the right decision for everyone, or whatever it is that you're going through. But I also get the other side of it. I think that's actually a really good one. I think I could use that too.
Yeah. I thought they were both good. I could relate to both of those. Okay, Ethel in the Philippines wants to know, do you ever get starstruck?
Every day. Had to. I'll tell you what. It's only happened to me. Obviously in our business, we've met a lot of people. Had random hangouts with people just because big groups coming together. This that. Various award shows, things, and that's been fun. Never once was I starstruck until one time we were all sitting at a dinner with my dad. It was Chyler, myself, and my dad. And behind us, in the booth behind us, was Barry Manilow.
Oh.
Of all people.
I remember that.
And look, awesome musician stuff. I don't know why, but I was sitting there and I heard his voice and I'm like, huh.
Barry?
Barry. And so I my dad had wandered off for a second and came back to the table and he's like, hey, Barry Manilow sitting right next to us. And I was like, wait, what? No. And I literally all night, I was just like, eventually we ended up meeting him and that was cool. But it was just I don't know. I totally tripped up on my words. It was just weird. And then I felt like I was just being super awkward and.
Nah, not at all.
What do you think, Barry? Barry, you're watching, right? Barry, are we still good? What about you?
Yeah, I've been starstruck before, and the biggest one for me was Pat Benatar. That definitely was like take my breath away moment where I was doing a show and she came on as a guest star on the show, and I've never struggled so much to actually speak like a sentence than I have when I met her, and just I didn't know what to do. And I got to do these scenes with her and she's so awesome and so sweet and so kind and so funny. And we had a blast in the whole time. So this was that 80s show. And so I've got like Liberty spikes and like all the dark black makeup. And I'm just like, hi, it's so nice to meet you, Pat. And I'm just like.
That's her Liberty spikes.
Sorry. That was a big one for me. She was just such a huge part of my.
It was kind of funny
growing up.
Seeing you actually be starstruck, and it's so funny because obviously Pat Benatar was, coming onto her, the show she was on, a regular cast member on it, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I didn't know how to handle myself, so I just was like, like weird.
Yeah, but then she signed your guitar.
She did. She signed my guitar, and that was really dope because you suggested. He was really sweet, and he was like, hon, I really think you should take your guitar in and ask her to sign it.
Yeah.
Yes, and ask her to sign it. She's absolutely. There's no way she wouldn't do it because she's like just super awesome, and I think you would regret it if you at least didn't ask. And I felt very encouraged in that moment and approached her like, excuse me, Pat, would you mind? I don't know if this is silly or not. I don't know if this is silly or not, but would you mind? And it was like,
I have to add, I got to book in this one real quick because the best part was after it was signed and she did get through it, obviously. And, we were going home with guitar and she's like just blown away that Pat Benatar signed her guitar. And then she's like, babe, now it's not my guitar, it's my Pat Benatar. She said it. I didn't say it. You know how cheesy I am. And I'm just like, wow. So I think it took a little while for that whole starstruck thing to wear off for a minute. Yeah.
Benatar.
Okay. This is a quick one. Adrian and Kate. Adrian in Ontario and Kate in Toronto, both from Canada. If you could be a time traveler, would you go to the past or to the future?
I'd go to the future. I'm good with the past.
Got it.
I think because going to the past, like, I don't know what the purpose would be because I wouldn't go. everything that's happened, like, yeah, I could clean up a lot of things from my past, that's for sure. But I think going into the future would be kind of cool just to, I don't know.
Know what the weather was next week?
Doesn't have to be like super far in the future because like some of that stuff's kind of scary if you think about it. So it's like maybe just a little bit.
I don't know, because if you knew what was going on in the future, wouldn't you just be like kind of like, I mean, I don't know what the point would be. I mean, yes, of course, there's certain things we want to work out, you know, and we'd like to see if they do work out or something. But how much would that change where you're at in like your past? If you change your past, yeah, we all have things I think that we, you know, either regret or you look back on and we're not too fond of. And you know I have plenty of those moments. But I mean, if you change those, would you be the person you are today?
Exactly.
And so I don't know. I think
it seems like it would go either way, because if you try to go back and you mess with the past, then that would affect your future.
There's a whole thing about this, and we'd go forever on it, because there's actually a whole theory and a thing that's.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my.
Sorry.
Yeah, see, you're disturbing the.
I know. Had I seen that coming, I wouldn't have had.
You know what? People love your answers, I can tell. Okay, so this one, I'm going to give you 5 words each to answer this. Okay, so Nicola in Liverpool, Yasmin in Belgium, and Clarissa in Brazil. What makes you happy?
My family makes me happy.
Perfect.
My wife makes me happy.
Those were.
I know. I'm not going to count that.
Absolutely perfect. Okay, so we just have a couple more. And I think this is kind of a good one. So I'd just like it if, Chyler, you would take a stab at this one. I'm going to find the right one. This is Leah from France. Was it easy to talk about mental health with your family and friends? Is it something that you are, we know you're proud of it, that you've done that, but was it a struggle for you to make that decision?
Absolutely. Yes, because there's that sense of vulnerability and that sense of, well, once you say it, you can't really take it back, especially given what, you know, the nature of what we do. It's like whatever we say is like, it's out there in the, you know, in the forever, whatever. But like, so yeah, I mean, that kind of goes along with the sense of worrying about being judged in general, and like existing in a world where, especially the industry that we're in, is that everything you do, say, don't do, how you look, how you don't look is just judged. And so it's like you can't make everybody happy, so you have to worry, you have to focus on.
Period.
I retracted that. You have to focus on what makes you happy and what makes you you. And it definitely took, you know, some encouragement, and we're each other's, you know, biggest cheerleaders. And so, you know, Nathan was really wonderful and encouraged me, and even my kids encouraged me too. You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? Can't live for everybody else, so you might as well just be yourself.
Well, I remember when, you know, she was kind of gearing up to do it, and there was a moment just before it was going to, you know, kick off, where she got really scared, legitimately, authentically scared. And she started kind of like, I could see something was wrong. So I was like, hey, what's going on? And she kind of hold it in. She's going to start to tear up and stuff. And I was like, babe, what's going on? She's like, I don't know that I'm ready to do this, because like, who am I to even like be doing a campaign about mental health when I'm still struggling through it? And, you know, I gave her a big hug and I said, sweetheart, it's not about, you know, finding that solution. It's about being on that journey, that you're aware of it, and that, you know, it's going to help so many other people by the fact that it's you win by coming out there and helping others with their realizing it's okay to talk about it, and that it's okay that you're on a journey. That's the most important thing, you know. It could be very much a lifelong struggle, and it probably will be, and that's okay, because you're
yeah, I do trip out on that sometimes, and I still trip out on that sometimes, because you talk
how
about
amazing has it been, though? It's been incredible.
It has.
That whole campaign, the whole thing's been amazing.
Yeah, working with
partnership,
people and doing what we do with, you know, our partners and Together We Can with Matthew and Connolly.
Yep.
Like we have so much room to show the example that nobody's perfect and nobody has it all together. And if anybody says they are, they're full of baloney. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's it is a journey, and it was scary, and sometimes it is still very scary.
But look how it's turned out and where you're at, and you continue on that journey, and that's just I think it's just brilliant. It's something that it was good to share, I think.
Well, and it's the epitome of what we like to do, which is encourage and inspire. So it's an opportunity for us to thank you, Chyler, for doing that, because it has encouraged and inspired a lot of us.
Yep.
So we have one more question, I think, that'll segue us perfectly into the next thing that we want to talk about. But first, I did want to say, because so many people ask this, and I know that the answer is yes, when everything is safe. When the pandemic is over and it's safe to travel, will we be able to go out and visit and have these experiences that we want to? And just so you know, from UK, all over the USA, Mexico, Canada, Argentina, the Philippines, Germany, Spain, and Brazil. Those are who we heard from just, in the last 24 hours. So I like to share that because we want to encourage people that absolutely yes. We do want to get out and we want to see people, and we see those messages and they mean a lot to us. So
absolutely.
Fire 100 fire.
Yep.
All right. 100 fire. Nice.
Fire 100. Very good. All right. So Abby from Texas, and our hearts go out to everybody in Texas right now with what they're going through. Because we've been talking so much about this, what are your intentions for the coming month?
Ooh.
And
I think I've kind of, in a sense, really said it, but I'll reiterate. My intention is to stop judging myself and second guessing myself so much, and step out in confidence and faith that who I am and what I have to give is more than enough.
Absolutely. And there's a great way for you to actually journey on that intention over not just the next month, but maybe the next 40 days. Right? Yeah. So obviously our very own Connolly, and she was amazing. Connolly is absolutely brilliant, and wrote an amazing blog post on Together We Can called Setting Intentions. And as we were just kind of creeping into the new year, into 2021, so much going on. We're having a meeting of the minds with all of us that are part of the Create Change here, and we all were really inspired by that blog post, and we thought, we should do 40 days. We should do a 40 days journey of intentions. This is a really great way. I always talk about, when in order to win, sometimes things seem too big, right? Here's a perfect example, so I can keep this kind of focus. It's like I've run many of marathons, okay? But I will never forget when I first ran my very first one. I was training for it. I couldn't imagine running a mile or 2 miles or 3 miles, right? And so I had to come up with a strategy that would help me to get there. I had a 4-month window, and I really want to do this kind of bucket list thing. And so when I would step out the door, my mentality had shifted. I was like, look, if you put on your running shoes and you go out the door, that's a win. I don't care if you're supposed to run, follow the program and run, a mile or 2 miles that day or 5 miles, whatever it was. Instead of trying to look at the bigger picture, just focus on the day-to-day, right? And focus on the opportunity. When you get out there, put your shoes on, and you go out the door, you take those first 3 steps, you're already winning. That way, if I went 10 steps down the way and said, you know what, I just don't feel good today, or I don't want to do this, I could turn around and walk back home. But I still knew that it was creating that habit. And I think that's something that's so brilliant about creating intentions or setting intentions, is that it's not like you're going to okay, I'm going to win an EGOT or something. It's let's take bite size, the opportunity to take small steps forward, find the smaller wins, so you can truly create change on a bigger scale. You start small. And I think that there's a brilliance to that. What do you think?
Agreed.
So we are very excited to basically announce that we have this really special journey, 40 Days of Intentions, which kicks off tomorrow. And I'll give you a little teaser that the guy in the cap there is the one who's going to kick it off with a really awesome entry. And over the next 10 days, all of us on the Create Change team are going to share our thoughts about intentions, including our newest team members, Jill and Amber from Riverwolf Media.
Jammer!
Phenomenal filmmakers, and they've already done some really great work with us, including the year-end video that they put together for us. And we're going to be having more content from them. So welcome, Jill and Amber. We're really excited to have them on the team. And then Shandy, also
Shandy!
us as a really vital member of our community, working in so many capacities. But she's an excellent writer and has so many other skills. But we're really thrilled to have her on the team too. So you'll be seeing something over the next 10 days from each one of us. Really excited about that. And as important, as important is we're going to be inviting all of you officially in our community to send in your thoughts on intentions, because we want you to be on this journey with us. We want all of us to be able to share. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of that starting tomorrow. So that's our little heads up. We're excited about that. So yes, join us on the 40 days.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I think it's really important. Like, what I'm so excited about this, you know, as it kicks off tomorrow, again, it's all about those small steps forward, right? We want this to be attainable, and I think doing it together, teaming up, you know, no matter where you're at in the world, as a community, we can come together, right? And so every single day for the next 40 days, there will be a blog post, an essay, there'll be something on our site, you know, that will help kind of focus your intentions for the day if you so choose. The biggest thing I think that's super important to say here is that, look, it'd be great if you hit all 40 days, but it's not like we're trying to achieve, there's a win-loss thing here. Just doing one day, you know, doing one day a week, something, if you need it, it's there. And so it's creating a win for you. And it also gives you a chance to see where we're coming from and get some insight into our personal lives and how we journey through this. So I know our team is committed to doing all 40 days. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I would highly recommend and encourage you to join us on the journey. Make sure that you're a member, a free member. Jump on the site, createchange.me/register, and come part of this journey with us. Join us on the journey to creating change through 40 days of personal intentions and community intentions all together. It's gonna be fun.
Yes. One more quick thing I did want to do is acknowledge and thank everybody for participating in last week's to-do list. It was kind of a unique one where we basically asked our community to share some ideas about some things that they'd like to see us do for to-do list tasks, and specifically related to intentions. And we got a ton of awesome answers, a lot that were similar. So there's definitely things that people want to see. And so we just wanted, again, thank everybody. We're going to have a really cool to-do list coming up this week, and it's going to be suggested by one of the people in our community. So we know you're going to enjoy this one. And so with that, I just kind of wanted to say, just reiterate, we have a lot of exciting things that you're going to be seeing on our website, including a really, really special article from a good friend of ours here at Create Change. I'll just tease that out. But she's speaking to her passion. Oh. Boy, we can't wait to share that with everybody.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that. And then I will just leave it to you two lovely people to say, if you have anything you'd like to say before we bid adieu.
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah. Just gratitude. I think on a selfish Sunday, I think the way that I can kind of best express what makes me feel selfish is just gratitude to be where we are, who we are right now, right in this moment, and to be more present. And so I encourage everybody to do the same and just kind of go with the flow and love yourself. And I know that's a lot of different things. But
wonderful things.
Oh, good, yeah.
Look at you. Yeah, I just like join us tomorrow. I think that's really important. Like, at least come join us for this 40 days. Again, if you can get one day, and if you can get all 40 again, if you can get in 25%, whatever you can do, or if you need it, Maybe you're already doing some sort of 40 days intention challenge for yourself, and that's cool too. But then you can still be a part of that journey in our story, by submitting, the call for entries and submitting, putting in a submission, or going on and reading it and maybe sharing some advice. Remember we're not coming at this as like teachers and we're coming at it as, hey,
we're on the journey.
We're on the journey with
time.
you. So we want to hear the comments. We want to, it's not a ploy to get you guys just to jump on the website. This is like, look, this is where we do the work. We do it on the Create Change website, and there's be more and more of that. So I think our journey's a lot different than a lot of other people. And this community is incredible. All of you, no matter where you're at, what you've been through this past week, look, you got to know something. By being here right now, you've made a choice that is only going to further and help you on your journey, because there's a lot of love going on here. There's a lot of support, and this is a great support network. And I know a lot of people have found other friends and expand their community through Create Change. I love that. And so I think it's time for us to go from being on the journey, and start embarking, go to the, or I guess get on that journey and now start to move forward. And I think it's a really good way to say it. And we'd like to do that together. So I hope you'll join us this week, and starting tomorrow. And
the next 40 days.
And the next 40 days. And maybe just show up at the finish line if you need to. Show up on day 40. It's going to be great.
Well, I thank you guys very, very much. You have such busy lives, and we're just grateful for the time that you spent with us, and we're grateful for all the time that the people in our community around the world who spent with us just now. So we wish you a wonderful self-ish Sunday for the rest of the day with your family.
Yes.
Right. And we will look forward to seeing you all real soon. Love you guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Cindy. You're amazing.
Love you, Cindy. We love you all.
All right.
Thanks
bye,
for
guys.
being here.
I'll let you do it.
I'm going to do it awkward. Hang on.
Bye.
Wait.
Cowbell.